over on the lights. And it's 9:01. Michele Scandavino is down. Darren Wallace is alongside and challenging for that first place. Didn't quite make it. Michele has spun it, and it's all over the place. It is now Dan Newton that has slipped through, number 21. So Michele Scandavino 9:01 all over the place. He was being challenged by 7 Darren Wallace, and Michele up in the air. They're all getting up in the air as they exit late 1. 277 Gregory Lallemond in 4th, then 234 Denis Rago, then Paul Hibbard, number 16, who I expected to right up the front there, is currently down in last spot. Right, so it is still Dan Newton, number 21, that is still leading, followed by 9:01 Michele Scandavino, Darren Wallace, number 7 in 3rd. Then a bit of a gap to 234 Denis Rago, then 16 Paul Hibbard. And we have lost Gregory Lallemond 277 just before they drop onto lake 2. Right, here they go. They drop onto lake number 2. It is still 21. Michele Scandavino going for it as they drop onto the transition, and he moves through into first place. So Michele Scandavino really pushing hard. 21 Dan Newton comes through and drops to one side. Something's gone wrong. Michele Scandavino back into the lead, gets the craft right up on his sides. He goes around that hairpin turn to drop onto lake number 1. As does Darren Wallace, number 7, still pushing hard in 2nd. Paul Hibbard, number 16, is now up into 3rd. Dan Newton, 21, is back on track and in front of Denis Rago, 234, as they go through the dip and up the other side, round that hairpin turn onto lake number 1. So Michele Scandavino goes through, the clear leader now, number 9:01. Darren Wallace still in 2nd spot, number 7, but he's now got number 16, Paul Hibbard, closing the gap, I suspect. I'm going to have a look at the lap times. Right, so Paul Hibbard is almost 2 seconds faster than Darren Wallace in front of him, so that gap is going to be closing down. Don't forget, this is a 9-lap race. They've already done 3 laps. Right, I'm looking at this battle for second now. This is the one to watch out for. It's Darren Wallace goes through the line with a 55.9. That's his fastest lap. But Paul Hibbard goes through with a 53.2. That is also his fastest lap. But also the fastest lap of the race has been set by Paul Hibbard on lap 4. So the leader, Michele Scandavino, goes through 9:01. 5 laps completed now. He goes through the 54 seconds. Number 7, Darren Wallace, goes through in second with a 55.4. But Paul Hibbard goes through with a 54.5 and is now looking for that second spot as they go through the dip, round the hairpin turn. I don't think Darren Wallace is going to be able to hold him off. Paul Hibbard. Oh, he drops onto the water wrong, does Paul Hibbard, and a bit of a splash, but he's got away with it. Up out of Lake 1, they now go down the main straight, round the back of Lake 2. Now, Denis Rago is a lap down in 2:34. I think he's going to get caught up in this battle for second. Number 7, Darren Wallace, is going to be passed. Yes, no, he tucks in behind Paul Hibbard. Number 16 tucks in behind number 7, Darren Wallace, as they go through the dip there. As they go around the hairpin turn, looking at the lap times, Paul Hibbard was 0.6 of a second faster than Darren Wallace on the last lap. Ooh, Paul Hibbard, number 16, catching some air there. Just a bit of an air brake, slowing him down as he came out of Lake 1. Right, Denis Rago moves to one side. He sees the battle coming through. That's the second. He swings wide and lets them through. 7 laps completed now. Paul Hibbard with the craft up on his side, under control. They go through. It's still Darren Wallace, number 7, holding on to that second spot. Paul Hibbard just behind. The lap times, well, Paul Hibbard losing 0.5 of a second on that last lap. Oh, he spun it. Going round the, just approaching the hairpin turn, got it out of control. He's spun it. He's back on track, but he's dropped back now with 2 laps to go. Darren Wallace gets it airborne and loses some time there. The leader, meanwhile, number 901, Michele Scanavino, goes through. 1 lap to go now. The last lap board is now out. Here comes the battle for second. Darren Wallace, number 7. Oh, Paul Hibbard has closed right down him again as they came through. It was 56.3 for Darren Wallace, 56.5 for Paul Hibbard. So the game is still on for second spot. Paul Hibbard is looking for that second place. Darren Wallace desperately holding him off as they go across Lake 1. This could be the moment. If Darren can give it down, he does. Paul keeps it down as well. Half a lap to go now. Round the back of Lake 2, they disappear out of sight. As they reappear, it's still 7, then 16. They run to the drop onto the water. It's still 7, 16. Is it going to change? Paul Hibbard's going for it. Is he going to make it across the line? It's close. Oh, so close. 1 craft length in it, but Darren Wallace, number 7, takes second. The Michele Scanavino had already away and gone and won the race. But Darren Wallace put up his fastest lap on that last lap with a 54.8. Fastest lap of the race was actually set by Paul Hibbard on lap 4 with a 53.2, which was 0.2 of a second faster than Michele Scanavino's fastest lap on lap 2 with a 53.4.